Andrew Scheer winning makes me sick.
And I'm madder than Max.
This time on the Mercer and Mogilevsky show.
Well, guys, it's a somber day for us here because we were wrong. Well, I know I was wrong. Multiple occasions I said very confidently that Mad Max, Maxime Bernier, would take home the leadership position in the Conservative Party, and I was wrong. And I'm usually a very pessimistic person, but this time I was apparently overconfident. What happened?
Well, it seems as if people didn't quite get a good read on Max's support in Quebec, and they didn't get enough of a read on his support from social conservative votes that originally went to Brad Trost, Pierre Lemieux, who outperformed people. Pierre Lemieux was expected to get 7%, and people thought Brad Trost might get 5%. Brad Trost got 10%, and Lemieux still got 7%. And so those votes went to Andrew Scheer. Maxime Bernier way underperformed in Quebec, and as a poll watcher, the polls were okay, but there were some definite misses there and some surprises, and Andrew Scheer squeaked out a win. He underperformed in conservative heartlands of Alberta. He did not do well here in Manitoba, but he ran up the score in Saskatchewan, held Mad Max back in Quebec, and won Ontario, and took the leadership with it.
Well, almost seemingly we should have, at least I feel like I should have saw this coming. The fact that it was a rank system and not many people, at least we should have known this, who's going to put Maxime Bernier number 2? He's really a guy that you're going to put him number 1, or you're going to put him or you're going to hate him.
In a race that saw 15 or so candidates, Maxime Bernier ran alone when many of these candidates ran on the same sort of policies. And so, of course, in a system where everybody knew nobody was going to get even a third of the votes on the first ballot, then Maxime Bernier had a harder time growing. He did grow. He went from 28% to 49% of the vote. But Andrew Scheer was able to go from 22% of the vote all the way up to 50% of the vote.
I did think at one point when I was watching results come in, I did think that it was going to be a bigger blowout for Scheer, just seeing how big a percent O'Toole had. So the fact that Maxime did get to 49 was a surprise to me. Even still, he wasn't able to pull it out. So now that the Maxime Bernier revolution has seemingly come to an end. Hopefully we can rekindle it when Scheer loses in a big I'm not cursing, I'm not jinxing you guys. But at this point he'll probably be selected to the cabinet, but for the most part the Maxime Bernier revolution for now is over.
Well, but the Ron Paul revolution, what did he get? 8% of the vote in 2008, and then in 2012 he came back and tripled that. So if that's any indication, Maxime Bernier could blow out the next leadership race.
Let's hope. I really do hope that could happen. I just hope that people aren't too discouraged from this loss, because it was seemingly within grasp.
Yeah, and what it shows is that Canada has a large liberty movement, and that a popular liberty politician can sell that in Canada. Now, what it does mean is that the Liberty Movement did not win, and so the Liberty Movement does not right now have a candidate going into the next election of the big three parties. Now, there are the Libertarian Party, which is trying to court these voters, and I have an affinity for them. If you look at their platform, it's almost identical, actually, to Maxime Bernier's. And Andrew Scheer is not a freedom candidate. You'd have a hard time arguing for his policies being freedom policies.
Yeah. Well, for sure. I think when you look at Andrew Scheer, if you were a Conservative Party member or someone that was looking to the Conservative Party for some semblance of change from Harper, you were sincerely disappointed in this election. And I mean, that's the way it goes. The establishment ruled on this election. And if you want to change, which so often is what elections are for, is for change, you didn't get it.
No, you didn't get it. And the social conservatives, many of them are claiming victory, but really, Andrew Scheer is not pro-life. He has said he's not going to push that. I know some people say he is, but he's not. And if he comes out as pro-life, all of a sudden he's been hiding this. That's like a moot point, because like then you have you're guaranteed to have an unprincipled guy. Even if Andrew Scheer comes out in favor of supply management, I'm like, yeah, win. That's a win. But you still know that he's simply trying to play for support. The one principle that he has is that he's unprincipled.
Yeah.
His guiding, the thing he wants is to win. And so he'll look at the polls and he'll pick the position. He's in the Conservative Party, so he picks positions that he thinks can have him win with the Conservatives. Other stuff doesn't matter. If the Conservative farmers want the Americans not to do country of origin labeling, he'll oppose it. But if he feels that Conservative voters want to push back against Saudi oil and support Alberta gas jobs, he'll support country of origin labeling in gas. If he feels that free trade is good in most areas and popular among Conservatives, he'll support that. But when free trade comes to dairy, where many dairy and poultry producers don't want that, then he'll oppose it. That's his principle of he goes to the focus groups, he goes to the polls, see what the people want, and votes and campaigns based on that, not based on any principles. Even though he always talks about conservative principles, he never actually mentions a real principle that he actually believes in.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. And often that's used, they use that as saying, we're trying to unite people. We're trying to bring people to the Conservative Party together so we can just pick what the majority of the Conservative Party wants.
Yeah.
That's not how you run. Well, apparently that is how you want if you want to win.
Yeah,
But
people said, well, that's what it takes to defeat Justin Trudeau. And I'm like, well, why would you want a leader that does exactly what Justin Trudeau does?
Yeah.
It's actually not leadership
Yeah.
when you don't have a principle. And that's what Justin Trudeau does. He says, oh, I want to be prime minister. So here's my list of things that I'm going to do because that's what people want.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to be popular. And fine, if you want that, fine. But if I don't believe in that kind of person.
Yeah, well, certainly. I don't either. In the fact that Andrew Scheer is seemingly the guy to unite the Conservative Party, which means compromise to whatever the majority wants, is perfectly fine with apparently most Conservative Party members, but it's certainly not okay with me. And the fact that many people are looking to Andrew Scheer to bring in a new century for Canada. Like, it's just confusing.
Yeah, people are like, oh, he's Stephen Harper with a smile. It's going to be the power and leadership, the strong, firm, conservative leadership of Stephen Harper combined with the fun face of Justin Trudeau. That is not true, people. This is the inexperience of Justin Trudeau with that fox face just put on to get support, and not the intelligence and firm leadership of Stephen Harper, if you like that. I don't know who liked the tarred line, dirty tricks of Stephen Harper. This isn't Stephen Harper with a smile. This is Stephen Harper with dimples and half the brain. This is not something to get behind, people. If you're saying, oh, he's friendly and he's a nice face, he's got conservative values, unity, that's all he has. There's nothing else there.
Yeah, and I think we're looking to where we go from this, because at this point, we were very confident that Max was going to win, and the fact that
he looked like the definite front
that he hasn't pulled through. At least I'm at a crossroads. I'm like, it's difficult for me because I have no desire to support Andrew Scheer in any way. But then you find people saying, well, don't you want Justin Trudeau? You want Justin Trudeau to have another term? No, I don't want that either. But where do you go from here?
I think that I have not ripped up my Conservative membership card yet, because I think that we should get a feel for, over the next month or so, where the policy convention is going to go. And if it looks as if Andrew Scheer intends to run his policies through the convention, then fine, forget it. But if it looks like there could be some good votes that could be won on supply management and legalization of other stuff, reduction of taxes, privatization of national industries such as Canada Post, the CBC, the CRTC, and cutting government, moving healthcare to the provinces. If Andrew Scheer's open to adopting those policies, that would be something people should stick around with the Conservatives to vote on and try and get pushed through. But if it looks like it's going to be anti-marijuana, family-friendly stuff, but with no actual real pro-life, real pro-family stuff that's good, and if it's going to be like, oh, free speech at universities with the carrot and stick funding model
Yeah,
is
right.
going to be the way conservatives go. Plus all these homeschool tax credits, which we run hard against. Andrew Scheer is the most dangerous federal politician to be this high for homeschoolers. Say what you want about Justin Trudeau's leftism. Andrew Scheer has a concrete policy to get the federal government's hands on home education, and that is something that if he carries that through the federal election, I'll have to be opposing him, actively opposing his run for prime minister, if that's the case.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. The sense that Andrew Scheer will do what it takes. He's trying to overly promote capitalism, which means the government getting in your business to promote capitalism, seemingly creating jobs, which the government isn't supposed to do anyway, and promoting education that you want by giving you subsidies and tax credits and funding you, and we don't want that.
Yeah,
Conservatives don't want that.
He talks some of the right talk. He says, oh, get the government. When I interviewed him, he said, well, government doesn't create jobs. We want to get the government out of the way. But he hasn't walked the walk with actually announcing policies that get the government out of industries and proposing stuff like putting stickers on gas pumps to try and control what fuel people buy. That's not capitalism. That's not government getting out of the way. So Andrew Scheer is a self-contradiction. And until he clears that up, I don't know what to think of him.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm really interested to see what the next couple of months will bring. And I'm hoping that some good things will come from it, because I don't want to have to be the guy next election railing against the Conservative Party leader. Like, I really don't. Like, you know. But anyway, first off, I just want to say Maxime Bernier, like, he did good. He underperformed in Quebec, but you know, there's some good things to come. We had a lot of fun on the road, and as much as I might, like I said earlier, that the revolution is almost is over. Actually, think about what Mercer said. It really is the beginning of something, because nothing like this has really happened ever.
Maxime Bernier did more to promote the ideas of freedom and liberty in the last year than anyone has done in Canada in the last 2 generations. I think I would be very comfortable to say that.
Yeah, and I just want to say thanks, Maxime Bernier.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Max. You did it.
Yeah,
you're good.
Thanks, guys, for watching, and we'll be sure to keep you updated about the upcoming stuff that's going on with Scheer and the new Conservative Party leader. We're hoping to branch out and do some general government stuff as well, not just the Conservative Party anymore, but just some of the general policy stuff. And we hope you guys enjoyed this video, and be sure to give this video a like and subscribe, and be sure to let us know what you think about Scheer, if you're a Scheer supporter, and what do you think about all the stuff he's got going on. What do you think about the race? We'd like to know. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.